Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. It's time to talk about Valentine's Day. Yes, that's coming up right around the corner. And with Valentine's Day comes scams. And who's better to talk about Valentine's Day scams than Tiffany Schultz? Tiffany, welcome back. How you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me today.
Thank you for coming back. I love talking about this one. See how I love? Anybody? Anybody? It's interesting. Valentine's Day, you know, sort of like it's a hype. It's a holiday. It's a fun holiday. It comes right after the big holidays, right? So it's like, seems like right after everything comes out of the holidays, Christmas, whatever. But you see all of the Valentine's Day stuff just like pouring in January. You say in here, $29 billion spent by retail. That's incredible.
Scammers take advantage of the news. They take advantage of topical situations. They take advantage of holidays. Look at how much money people are spending for Valentine's Day. Scammers want their piece of the pie, too.
So, that being said, how are they still doing it? Imposter websites, probably the biggest. It's the one that I think is the biggest across the board when we look at scams as a whole.
Online shopping scams have consistently been in the top 5 scams year after year, especially since COVID. Scammers have found that they can throw up fake websites and lead people to them to buy their product versus a legitimate product. Well, when you're purchasing on these websites and they're throwing up those items that you want for Valentine's Day, such as jewelry or those novelty items, and they're a great price and they're in stock, so you go ahead and buy them even though you've never checked out the retailer before. Well, you either get a counterfeit product, maybe you don't get a product at all, maybe it's subpar, and the scammer has captured your personal and financial information.
Yeah, and some red flags that stand out there, and my favorite one is too good to be true sale. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, this is really super discounted. The automatic one to me is flowers. Like, you know, you are expected that you're going to pay extra in flowers. You see that extreme discounted price, especially really close to the holiday, that should be a red flag.
And flower scams are one of the #1 Valentine's Day scams that are out there. And like you said, the price is exorbitant. The prices are inflated over the holiday because flower shops know that this is what people are looking for. It's just something that goes on and on and on.
Supply and demand too, right? I mean, they have all this demand for flowers and not enough to fill, so i.e. price go up a little bit.
Right, so you can buy the flowers online at half the price, maybe something that you would spend on an average month instead of Valentine's Day, and you order them, but the gift recipient never receives them.
And just to backtrack on, you mentioned this, and I just wanted to point it out again, like when you're choosing a place to shop at, do some research before you actually do it. So if it's a place you've never bought from before, probably not a good time to just start randomly buying, right?
Always check those businesses out. You can start your homework on BBB.org. You can do an internet search followed by complaint, review, scam. You're going to find the information if it is fraudulent.
All right, next one is romance scam, which everybody's like, that's the one that I always hear about. Well, fine, it's still out there, it's still happening, but maybe this time of year, a little bit easier to fall victim to it?
Romance scams are real, and people are looking for love, and they fall into these traps. Scammers create profiles that are, you know, something that a consumer would want to date, and they start a relationship online, but it gets offline very, very quickly. It moves to text and email and phone calls, and the scammer professes their love for you. But meanwhile, they are asking you for money. So they may ask you for car repairs for $500, and that was successful. So they want to meet, but they're in the military, and they want to book an airline ticket. So you pay for their airline ticket, and you give them your credit card number, and the expenses just keep rolling and rolling until you finally realize that there really was no relationship there.
If you suspect that that's going on, where would you even start to report that?
You can report it to us at bbb.org. Depending on the dollar amount lost, you may want to reach out to law enforcement as well. If it's just a few $100s, that's one thing. But if you're into the thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, definitely report that to law enforcement.
And you put it on here because it's still working. Like, that scam is still actively working.
Absolutely. And the dollar amount is underreported too. People are embarrassed that they've lost the money. They're embarrassed that they fell for such a scam. So the dollar amounts that we report that are a median average are really low.
Yeah. Next one is wrong number scam. So it's somebody just out of the blue, right? Out of the blue, you get a text, get a call, whatever, and it's not really anybody.
And this could really lead to a romance scam too.
Right, I was going to say, it pretty much opens the door to that, right? Yeah.
And that's what scammers are looking for. They're looking for you to respond, and maybe you're responding by text message, and they start a conversation with you, and one thing leads to another, and before you know it, you're talking every day. So that could really lead to a romance scam without expecting it.
Red flag, unwanted, unsolicited reach out. You got to question it every single time, no matter what it is.
And wrong numbers happen.
All the time. It's okay to I'm sorry, wrong number, but there's a line, I think.
Don't engage in a conversation. It's polite to say, I'm sorry, you've reached the wrong phone number. But if that conversation continues and continues and continues, there's probably a reason for it.
All right. Well, you can stay up with the latest scams. And, of course, you suggested reporting it. It's so important to report it because then we get to talk about it.
That information comes to our desk, and we're able to compile it and get that information out into the hands of the consumers. So, like you said, we talk about these topical conversations, and a lot of them come from the data that we're receiving from consumers.
All right. Well, there's a good side to Valentine's Day, too. We talked about the scam part, but, take your time, do your research. If people want to learn more about scams that are happening out there, reporting it, or just curious on what's happening in this world, where can they find more information?
Head on over to bbb.org.
All right. Happy Valentine's to you and your family. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll look forward to having you back on here real soon.
Thanks.